Spud Guns. It is I, Arth Blood, the girl next door.
Hello, my Spud Guns. It is I, Artist Blood, the girl next door, your favorite cool bean. And it is Weird's Day, Wednesday, May the 28th, 2025. And I gotta tell you, I was watching the Cobwebs channel, and I think he's fabulous. He has this series of his top favorite 15 vampire movies from every decade. The 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and then from 2000 to 25. I thought it was brilliant. I'm like, oh, I need to get in on this action. So I'm not going to touch from the 70s through the 90s, but I think I am going to tackle my top 15 favorite vampire movies from 2000 to 2025. And if you haven't seen the Cobwebs channel, you have to check him out because he does a lot of old school horror. Okay, so coming in at number 15 would be Bite, aka Blood Trap. You haven't heard of it, you say? Have you heard of Abigail? Because Abigail is a remake ripoff of Bite, aka Blood Trap, which that one came out in 2015. And it is the same premise. It is just a British movie. And it's basically it is the same premise. A bunch of thieves are hired to what they think is break into a vault, and it ends up they are stuck with Dracula's daughter. But the only difference is in this one, she's an adult. She's not a child. Okay, coming in at number 14, Dracula, the Dark Prince. This is from the early 2000s, and it stars soap actor Rudolph Martin, best known for playing, he was on All My Children with Sarah Michelle Gellar. They actually played a couple on All My Children way back. But then he's best known for playing Dracula on Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 5 episode 1. And the whole reason they got him was because he was doing Dracula the Dark Prince at the same time. There you go. And it's more of it's a made-for-TV movie, but it's more of a historical take. So it's more about Vlad the Impaler than, the Hollywood version. Coming in at number 13, Hotel Transylvania 2. Yep. The Adam Sandler Kids Show. Yep. I had to put this on here because this movie, it's so cute. You got a little bit of everything. You got a bit of a romance going on. It's a buddy movie, and it's kind of like a caper. If this was a movie back in the 40s or 50s, this would have been an Abbott and Costello movie. Come on. So Hotel Transylvania, like I said, it's a buddy movie. It's a bit of a romance, but it's got a really great moral. And nobody talks about this movie because I think it's an Adam Sandler cartoon. But the moral of the story is, don't judge a book by its cover. Coming in at number 12, Underworld 2, Evolution. I know this one kind of gets missed when people talk about the Underworld franchise, but I actually think it's the best in the series. We have both our lead characters are kind of going across Europe, fleeing the vampire, a couple of other ancient vampires. Coming in at number 11, Daybreakers. And this one has Ethan Hawke playing a vampire scientist trying to find a new synthetic blood because the human race has pretty much been depleted, and the vampire race are about to find themselves extinct. Coming in at number 10, the Tubi original Slay. Oh my god. This is literally just drag queens and from dusk till dawn kind of mishmashed together, and it works perfectly. Again, this is one of those, everyone kind of has their differences at the beginning, because you've got these drag queens who think they're playing at a drag bar, but they end up getting booked in a honky-tonk kind of cowboy place where at first glance they think they're in the wrong place, and then the two sides of the crowd have to band together to fight these vampires. Coming in at number 9, Shadow of the Vampire. That is the retelling of the 1922 story. Sorry, tripping over my own tongue today. That is the retelling of the 1922 movie Nosferatu, as seen through the crew. And ironically, coming in at number 8 would be Nosferatu 2024. I loved this movie. When I went Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, to see this in cinema, and there is no other way to experience this movie but on the big screen. It is just gorgeous. This is one of the few movies where I've gone to in the last half decade where nobody talked, nobody was on their phone, everyone was paying attention. It was just adults paying attention. And that is the best way to see this movie. Coming in at number 7, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I think if you take this movie, which is basically just one chapter of Dracula, and you play it back to back with Nosferatu 2024, you've got the perfect double bill. And Last Voyage of the Demeter is just the chapter in Dracula where Dracula is on the boat, he's on the ship crossing the ocean. In the novel, it's about maybe 5 pages, and they somehow turn this into a full, part of the pun, full-bodied, full-blood movie. Coming in at number 6, Queen of the Damned. Now, I know it gets a lot of hate, but why? If Queen of the Damned had been released within a year or two of Interview with a Vampire, I think it would have gotten a better reception. But I know people get upset that they changed the actors and stuff. Yeah, that happened. But it's still a brilliant movie. It's still gorgeous to watch. The soundtrack itself is worth sitting through this time capsule. And that they did kind of screw up a little bit, because they took the second book, which was Vampire Lestat, and they took the third book, which was Queen of the Damned, and they kind of mushed them together, but they didn't do it on an even till. That's kind of where most people get upset. Coming in at number 5, From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter. This is a prequel sequel, and I like it. I think it's the best in the franchise, actually. It gives you the backstory of the bar and how Satanical Pandemonium became Satanical Pandemonium. Coming in at number 4. Now, I've got a tie here because they're technically the same movie. Coming in at number 4, Fright Night 2011 remake. and Fright Night 2, The New Blood, the 2013 remake. And what I mean by when I say they're technically the same movie, Fright Night 2, The New Blood, the 2013 remake, takes all of the other movies. It takes the original Fright Night, it takes Fright Night 2, and it takes the 2011 remake and kind of mushes them together. And it's just this gorgeous movie. They actually shot it over in Romania, and the locations are worth it. Coming in at number 3, Blade 2 Blood Hunt. This is on a lot of people's lists. A lot of people say this is one of their favorite vampire movies, and I understand why. It was different, and it's bloody, and it is gorgeous. There's more action, there's more comedy. It's found the perfect balance between horror and action and comedy and romance, and it just does it so well, seamlessly. Coming in at number 2, Renfield. I love Nicolas Cage. I love pretty much everything Nicolas Cage does. And for me, seeing him play Dracula after having played the Renfield type character in Vampire's Kiss like 40 years ago, it's just a full circle of beauty. For anyone who hasn't seen Vampire's Kiss, Nicolas Cage plays this man who you're never quite sure if he's actually been bit by a vampire or if it's all in his head. And to see him come full circle and actually play the master vampire this time around. And again, this is one of those movies that it's very gory, but kind of in a cartoonish gore. Because you're following Renfield and his struggle to figure out his personal identity. And coming in at number 1, and I don't want to hear any flack about this, but coming in at number 1 is Rob Zombie's The Munsters. Shush. Don't say anything. Give this movie a chance. Not enough people gave this movie a chance. I think that everything that people bitch and moan about in regards to The Munsters is what I think makes it endearing. I love the fact that that Rob Zombie went PG. I love the fact that he said, no, I'm not going to give you what you expect. I'm going to give you what you deserve. And what you deserve is something light and fresh and wholesome. Okay. Until next time. Creeping Screams.